I'm gonna go at 2 minutes.
Cool.
Tell my daughter to chill out. She up there screaming and shit. Yep. You already know, boy. It's your boy, Big 618Cs, bro. AKA the struggling YouTuber, right? Right. And what we talking about today, bro? The fix is in, man. So I got a live video. So we just trying to expand the content of the channel and want to start having real conversations, live conversations with viewers, other respected minds and people that we like, people we talk to. You know what I'm saying? Just expanding the community in a way, right? So I say all that to say this. Tonight I wanted to have a real conversation about this Karmelo Anthony trial, right? I've been following the trial through Nick at Night. And if you want to get like the real detail on what's going on day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute, you should go over there and follow Nick at Night because she is live, boots on the ground. And she trying to find out what's going on, and things she reported today, they wasn't good, bro. And things that's coming out of other news outlets, it looks like they have finally finished jury selection, right? And out of what was it, 450 or 650 people or something like that, they weren't able to find one African American that they deemed qualified, right, to be on the jury. The fix is in. So I got my boy Coach Mike D coming live from Dallas, and he want to join the stream, and we just gonna look at some content about it, and we gonna just have like real live conversation about this, bro, because it is what it is. Coach Mike D, talk to the people, introduce yourself, and just let them know who you are.
Oh yeah, man. What's going on, y'all? What's going on, everybody? Of course, you know me. I'm Coach Mike D from Nosebleed Nation, a sports channel. I'm a black man from East St. Louis, like everybody know, and a husband, a father, and you know make a decent living in my life, and just try to live right. And also concerned about what I see around what's happening with black people and what's happening with our children. I actually live in Dallas, which is not that far away from where Karmelo Anthony lives, out in the Frisco area. So it's not that far, probably about 30 minutes away. Very, very affluent area, but it also has its problems, and we're gonna deep dive into it regarding that.
What is the climate of the community down there right now in Frisco, Texas, bro?
Oh man,
I mean,
bro,
like, how do you feel coming? Especially, I want to know coming from the opinion of a person that grew up in a community that was 98% African American, and then you move into a community where I say you like financially you are an equal, but yet you are still a minority.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What is the climate of the community right now? What it's feeling like?
Well, it's they talk about it every day down here in Dallas. It's on the news all the time, and the local news be talking about little stuff that about what they wanted. It's very divided, man. The racial aspect of it is real. There were fans of the family of the Metcalf family that bought it real hard about not even having cameras in the courtroom, which people wanted cameras just to make sure people can see that if it's going to be a fair trial or not and what was being presented. But they bought it real hard, and guess what? The judges went with it. No cameras in the courtroom. But the environment is very, very, very divided. A lot of people that grew up down here in Texas, they say this is normal, man. Normal, growing up in the South, the black people that grew up down here, they are very well aware, and it's divided. I hate to say it, but the white people are down here. They're definitely on the side of Metcalfs. They're on the side of them. I haven't met or heard one person say out of their mouth that they want to be fair or fair trial or anything like that, or they want to see what is going on. They are saying that this brother is guilty no matter what. And we in one of the states in Texas where you can carry guns without no permit. Everything is about protecting yourself, rights, conservative state. And then a kid protects himself, allegedly protects himself, because we got to use that because we have to until the stuff comes out, and it's going to come out here soon. He's now on trial for protecting himself in a state that has standing ground. So it is definitely not that out of the ordinary for me growing up in East St. Louis, 98% black. And what we went through with being in St. Louis dealing with the Michael Brown situation. When that stuff happened in Ferguson.
Yeah, hey, bro. Listen. I was there. I was there. Day 1, day 2, day 3. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the good people I know, man. Tef Poe, T-Dub-O.
Yeah.
Shout out to them good guys, bro.
Yeah.
I was there on day 1, so
yeah.
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. So we was talking about Nick at Night, and she's actually live right now talking about the trial. So let's go over here and see what she talking about, bro.
Yeah.
Cause she be dropping some good stuff. Let's go over here and see what she talking about.
Nick at Night, I think I've heard of her. I've never seen any of that stuff, but I'm gonna start following her, watching.
After both sides used their preemptive challenges, those 3 were 100% of the black jurors. We believe they were struck based on race or gender. They left a 25-year-old, one of the 2 18 similar situated to 37, and 38, something. And then the judge asks, like, okay, so what do you think about that? So basically, the challenge that he gave them is called the Batson challenge. So the motion that he raised was Batson versus Kentucky. So it stems from a landmark 1986 Supreme Court case, Batson versus Kentucky, where the ruling states that a prosecutor cannot use preemptory strikes, which are usually strikes given to attorneys to eliminate a juror without giving a reason, to exclude jurors solely based on race, organized under the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment. To prove the state is acting in bad faith, the court must execute a 3-step legal test. So, 1, the defense must show facts and circumstances that raise an inference that the prosecution used their strikes to exclude a juror based on race. It says, number 2, the burden shifts to the prosecution, and they must step up to the microphone and provide a race-neutral reason for every single one of those strikes. And then the third thing, the judge has to make a determination. So basically what happened was the judge asked both sides, what is your basis for the argument? And the defense argued that I believe that they prejudiced the rest of the jury based on race, and that's the only reason why. And the prosecution said, oh, Your Honor, well, we didn't know that all those jurors that we struck were black. We thought, based on one of the names, we thought that she was Middle Eastern. And he said that he thought that it was only 2 jurors that they struck, but he thought that one of them was Middle Eastern, and he didn't think that she was black. And they read off her name. I'm not going to tell you guys her name, but they said her name in open court, and they were like, her name is XYZ. And because we heard this name, we thought that she was Middle Eastern. And so then the defense, he chimed in and he said, how could you think that she was Middle Eastern when on her bio form, she listed her race as African American / black? So how can you assume that she's Middle Eastern based on her name when she listed her race on her form and her form is black? So he was basically saying that, judge, they're being disingenuous. How can they think that she's Middle Eastern when it literally says that she's black? And then so he went and he had one of his clerks go and get the form that showed that she checked off that she was black and that she was not Middle Eastern. So then the judge told them, what is their basis for eliminating them? Like, if you guys are saying that you guys did not eliminate them because you thought that they were black, what other reason did you eliminate them? And so the prosecution said, well, we didn't eliminate because they're black. Absolutely not. Like, we're not going to eliminate a person just because they're black. Judge, we decided to get rid of every single teacher on the jury. We feel as though we want to strike all of the teachers, and it just so happened, and I'm paraphrasing, but it just so happened to be a coincidence that they're black, but all of them are teachers. And we decided to strike all of the teachers. So it's not because of the race, it's only because they're teachers. And because we don't have teachers on the jury, we chose to get rid of them. So after they set the record straight and they said that it wasn't based on race, and even though they thought that the lady was Middle Eastern, it wasn't even the fact that she was Middle Eastern the reason why they chose to strike her. They only struck her because she was a teacher, and all of the last black jurors were all teachers. And the judge then said, well, is there anybody else on the jury that is a teacher that wasn't struck? And the defense said that there was still a person that was a teacher, but she wasn't a teacher of a school. She was a teacher of esthetician school. So she was a teacher of face, eyelash, stuff like that. So she wasn't a teacher of a school. So that don't count. But all of the teachers that are educators, they were not, it wasn't about the race. So the judge said, okay, well, I'm going to take that under advisement. The screen went black for like a few moments. And then he came back and he said, all right, well, based on what the prosecution said, I'm going to deny your motion. And we're going to, he basically denied them.
Oh my God, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
It was not racist. He didn't say it's not racist, but basically they gave us an excuse, and the excuse is that they're teachers, and based on that reason, then it's cool. Like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. So we're not going to have them on the jury. Right. So then after that, he said that he's now going to announce the jury. And then that is when he announced the jury, and he announced all of their numbers. I'm not going to announce like the final jurors, but he announced all of their numbers, and we were able to see all of them walk across the screen. So one by one, he called their number, and he told them to walk from like one side of the room to the other side. So as he called their name, they walked across, and all I remember was I seen a lot of blonde hair. That's all I remember. Like, I seen a lot of blonde hair. I was like, blonde, 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 blonde. Male, but blonde. Blonde male, blonde woman, blonde, I was just seeing a lot of blonde heads, a lot of ash brown, a lot of blonde, a lot of kind of colors like that of the hair. I seen one lady that she was wearing, like, out of all of them that was going by, one kind of looked like she was of Asian descent, possibly. And then another person looked like maybe Middle Eastern. Everybody else looked like they had blonde hair to me. But, just a figure of, speech. Not literally what their hair color literally is, but figuratively. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so we were able to see the jurors walk across the screen, and none of them are Black. So that was all that happened today. Thank you guys for watching. Sorry that the live was so lengthy. I was trying to not make another live go almost 2 hours, but
I think that's a good stopping point there. So everybody, look, if you really want to follow this trial, like I said, bro, go over to Neek at Night, bro. She produces some really, really great content, and I will put a link to her channel in the description of the video, right? So, Coach Mike D, what you think about this, man? No black jurors, right? I got a couple points that I kind of want to make. When she said it was an Asian lady on the jury, first thing I said was, it's over.
Yeah.
An Asian lady, it's over, bro. Like, we're always guilty in the eyes of an Asian lady. So I'm gonna fix my focus on my camera. Coach Mike D, I want you to share your thoughts with the people, bro.
Yeah. So I can understand how that demographic of each juror selected, outside of anybody being white, but no black. You understand, in the Frisco area, Euless, where I am, certain places, very big population of Asian population. So it could be whether if they're from India, China, whether it's Vietnam, whether it's any parts of that area, big, huge populations. So I guess they're trying to use the excuse to say, well, they want to pick a jury that's made up of the community, and that's what they're doing. That's the bulk of the community out there, even though that Frisco area does have a very well-off black population there too. Very big one. A lot of people with money, a lot of professionals, a lot of the athletes that frequent the professional teams down here. They live in Frisco. That's what a Dallas Star is. Like I said, it's a very well-off area, and it's amazing how we, as black people, we never want to try to use race every time and stuff. We just want fairness. But when you do something like this, you take a jury that does not have it and not one black person on it, you're going to make that come out and breed that. All we want is fairness. All we want the truth to come out. What happened? But when you stack a jury like that, knowing the history of certain people and how they treated blacks, you're asking for the verdict that you want. They're trying to get the verdict they want because they understand. Because believe me, these prosecutors understand the history of this stuff too. Because all they want is a conviction. Regardless if it's innocent or not, they want a conviction. Because those prosecutors want that unblemished mark on their record, especially with a high profile. This is a high profile case.
They want that promotion.
They want that
promotion. They want that raise. They want that bigger house. Like,
yeah. Well, for most of them too, this can boost them into the realm of going into politics where they become a senator. This is how a lot of them become senators and, representatives. If we backtrack a little bit on Vice President Harris, what did she start off as? Prosecutor.
Exactly.
And she became an attorney general. This is how they get to attorney general. If you're known as a prosecutor that convicted Karmelo Anthony of murder and sent him up the river in a high profile case like that, and everybody's going to see you, what do you think is going to happen? You move up the line.
Like I'm amazed that like they knew. Same way that you disqualify people for jobs based on their names, it's the same way that they disqualified these jurors based on their names. And then they want to play dumb and say, oh, we thought that was a Middle Eastern name. Her name probably like Nia Jones. You know what I'm saying? But we thought that was a Middle Eastern name. Like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Naisha Johnson.
Yeah. But that's a Middle Eastern name, And then they eliminated the other lady because she was a teacher, bro.
Yeah.
And then she said we already have a teacher. A lash tech ain't a fucking teacher.
That's right.
I'm sorry. Well, I guess she a teacher. She's a teacher of eyelashes, bro. But it's different, bro. It's different levels to this, bro.
Yeah. You
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's like me pulling up to Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Like, yeah, I'm a instructor. I teach drunken arts. I was on the north side of St. Louis in the alley, and I taught my boy Lil Boo Boo how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. You're not a fucking instructor.
That's right.
People ought to put on eyelashes, bro. Like,
that's right.
I don't no disrespect to the eyelash sex, but I can learn that on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I knew it was over. When I think eyelash, and sometimes I be judging, I ain't gonna lie, because they be judging us. So when I think eyelash teacher in Frisco, Texas, I think big hair, high school diploma, never had a class with a black person, never had a black friend, never had a black experience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I think Asian lady from that area, I think every black person's wrong in her eyes. And I could be judging, I could be wrong, but bro, the fix is in, bro. I refuse to believe that this young man is gonna get a fair trial. I refuse to believe that he gonna get a fair trial.
Yeah. Yeah.
They might say it's a fair trial. It might be a fair proceeding in which all of the proceedings are handled by law. But it ain't gonna be no fair trial. It might be a fair proceeding, but not a no fair trial, dog. Hell no. Nah.
That's right.
You see what just happened today in South Carolina, bro?
Yeah.
You see what just happened in South Carolina? Let's go over here and look at some of these clips from South Carolina.
Yeah, it's just troubling.
You know, a lot of people saying that this brother right here, this attorney, right? Let's go back. A lot of people are saying that this brother right here is a sellout. What you think about that?
I don't know, man. I'm still trying to dig in because they came up with the verdict so fast and I get a chance to really dig into it. So
he's the defense attorney.
He's the defense attorney. So I'm gonna have to look at
a lot of people want to say he's a sellout.
I don't know if there's any video of the proceedings. I would like to be able to go back and look at what he presented and how he presented it.
Yeah,
to defend his client. You know, I'm sorry. He's the defense attorney for Mr. Child.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's a lawyer, man. I mean, people need to understand something. His job is not to look at the morality of a thing. It's to get his client off. That's his job. So I'm not going to hold that against him. He's a defense lawyer. He's not a sellout. If he is doing exactly what that man is paying him to do, get him off. And that's what he did.
Yeah, I really didn't follow. I haven't been following this story. You know, I talk about MK Ultra a lot in my videos.
Yeah.
And I feel like the shit is real and the controlling the algorithm is real, right? I remember 10 years ago, you can, especially doing Mike Brown and stuff, you can find out a lot of news about things that was going on in the country, movements, big trials and things like that. But nowadays, it don't matter if you on white YouTube, black YouTube, white Twitter, black Twitter, white Facebook, black Facebook, the bullshit just gonna continue to get pushed. It's like, say I like a video, one video of this one comedian, next thing you know, I'm gonna get 10 videos of this comedian because I watched it all the way through and I liked it. But I'm not never gonna get a video about what the hell is going on over in Iran and how many troops we losing every day, or these big news stories. Not even these people that so-called made these attacks on the president. We never hear about them going to trial. All we do is hear about them getting arrested. We don't see them arrested, but then they never have trial or nothing. We never hear about nothing that ever happened to them, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell people, like, you got to stay woke, bro. That MK Ultra shit real.
Well, this was the whole point of them when Facebook was first initiated in colleges. That was the test group. They want to be able to control the digital flow of information. They found out we can control the heartbeat of the world. So when you have a trial like this coming up, where this kid is this has been shot, fleeing from a scene, innocent. I'm gonna put that out there. He's innocent because he did not steal and try to say what they did. He did, and get shot in the back. And you don't hear about nothing until the verdict comes out. We didn't know when the jury got selected. Like, think about it. We're hearing about the trial for Karmelo Anthony. We get at least the jury selection. We know when it's going to start. We heard nothing about when this trial is going to start, how long it's been going on, jury selection, or anything. We didn't find out until the verdict came out today. That's when we found out, or yesterday. That's when we found out. So it's all about controlling information. Because if they can control information, they control what gets out, then they can prepare now. They don't want to see, towns getting burned up. I mean, I don't know if you saw a picture, if you can show the people, Chuck. Did you see all the police cars that were at that man's business? It's like they already had knew the verdict, and they had police cars waiting so they couldn't burn his business down. They were already there. So, yeah, they were out there waiting, making sure that they couldn't do anything.
Y'all see? Water bottles. That's what the little boy died because of water bottle. He stole a water bottle.
Yeah.
89-cent water. He lost his life for it. That's crazy.
Sorry.
But yeah, so if I ain't mistaken, they still but it's a conversation to be had, right? And sometimes I feel like that conversation ain't to be had on YouTube, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already invite too many people to the cookout. Can you hear me, Coach Mike?
I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah. So we already invite too many people to the cookout, right? And we also have too many conversations that should be had in private, right? amongst our community in public, right? And so my biggest thing I tell people, if you want to attack these stereotypes and these things that's coming after us, because it's not going to stop, right? I mean, we see it clearly. It shit ain't gonna never stop, bro. Like it just changed. It don't stop. And now it's even worse because we don't have strong community leaders across America.
No.
You know, they'll label you as a gang or a terrorist organization before they label the KKK a gang or a terrorist organization. You get what I'm saying? Or some of these subset groups, right?
Yeah.
And I always tell people, J. Edgar Hoover, his biggest thing was to eliminate the great black messiah, right?
Yeah.
And he always talked about that. Yeah. So people got to remember that. And that's why we're at a point now where all of our voices are bought and paid for. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Jackson and Prince were the last ones.
Yeah.
And you see where they at, right?
Good point. Good point.
I don't trust Jesse Jackson. You know, God bless the dead. That's all I'm gonna say on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't trust Al Sharpton.
Oh, get me started.
You know? Umar's a flawed man, but we all are flawed men, right? And even if he did stand on business and was 100% back up everything that he said, the attacks will still come from within.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. And I ain't innocent myself because I've attacked Umar myself, you know.
Yeah.
Brother Tariq, he doing well. But you saw what happened when he was having too much power. They started coming after him, you know.
Yeah.
And so I feel like it's a conversation. And I say all that not to ramble, but to say this is a conversation that needed to be had, bro.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be had online within communities. Yeah. And my message to people is to get tribal. You know,
oh yeah.
I was on the front lines, Occupy Wall Street. I was on the front lines, Mike Brown. You get what I'm saying? I was there. I saw the movement get hijacked.
Yeah.
And I saw how fighting for the rights of people around me and in my city didn't do nothing but put a target on my back, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, real shit. And then I think the rest of this is a conversation for the other channel, but for the Urban Hustler channel. But yeah, real shit, bro.
Yeah.
So I always just tell people to get tribal.
It's time.
The best way you can do is get tribal. And when I say get tribal, meaning like you got to look out for you and yours.
That's right.
Because if I can't help me first, I can't help the people in my community, right? So I at least got to have some stable footing. I ain't saying like you got to be rich, you got to be up. I just got to be able to get some traction so I can reach down and pull you a little closer. And that's even if I just give you a little game and tell you not to make the same mistakes I made. You know what I'm saying? You got to get tribal. Each one teach one, right?
Well, the first law, they say the first law of nature is self-preservation. That's the first law. And our people have not learned that yet. And I'll say it from the mountaintop, and I'm going to keep saying it. It's time. It is time for us. We have done enough for other people. We've done enough of these, and we're watching our babies getting murdered, our people getting locked up, you know, the immorality in our communities, our young ladies prostituting themselves, our young men don't know what it means to be a father, or just ran astray, and all these are symptoms. But it's time now, and we don't. And I brought up a good point. I don't know a while ago, Chuck, when I was telling you about leadership. I'm glad you brought up leadership because we have a deficit in it. We have a huge deficit. If we have too many people that are bought and paid for, that want some type of clout or some type of fanfare or fame, whether they're a politician, whether they're in the clergy, or some athlete. And you have to watch people also to come on these platforms because they all have an ulterior motive as well. It's very rare that you get a person who comes from that grassroots up that ain't looking for that and really trying to help people. And we have a lot of people out here on in black media spaces that are trying to do that, and at least get information. People let them know, say, hey, this is what we're doing, and taking a stand. But when you look at people like Malcolm X, this man was high school educated, high school dropout. He was not educated in anything as far as like higher education, anything else, but he stood for something, and he loved his people. Where are those that love their people enough that they're willing to make that sacrifice? If you look at the last years of Martin Luther King's life, if you walk through the history of him, I think truly, in my opinion, he got tired of being what everybody else wanted him to be, and he decided, I'm gonna be who I was meant to be. Who's willing to tell truth to power, who's willing to do the things and not want anything in return. And that's what we're missing. And we see it too much, whether it's the Congressional Black Caucus, whether it's the politicians, the Democratic Party, Republican Party, whatever, our clergy, they are failing because they're bought and paid for. They have to answer to someone. And personally, I don't want to answer to nobody. And I'm hoping and praying that one day that they'll see the light, because right now, what we're seeing right now with these two incidences, which are very similar in nature, as our children are being attacked and the adults are sitting around twiddling their thumbs, and our babies are getting murdered and killed and attacked. I don't know if you saw the thing about the teacher who was abusing the one young man who was, I guess he's what they call autistic. He's a mute. And they were abusing him. His mama had to put a camera in his hair to catch him in the act. They were calling him the N-word and cussing him out and beating on him. They were abusing their child. And the only reason they were doing it, he was mute, but they were doing it to a black child. And this stuff has to stop. And we need to be we need to monitor this thing with Karmelo Anthony very closely. Unfortunately, not going to be the cameras in the courtroom, but hopefully there are people that can go in the courtroom and watch the trial and can report things, because we want to just hear the evidence about what happened that day and make sure it was fair.
Fact.
Because we all about this here. I think most people are. If something was wrong and they did something wrong, okay. But if they didn't, we need to be fair. I'm gonna stop on that.
Facts. That's real, bro. So yeah, look, man, this I'm Big 618Cs, man. It's my boy Coach Mike D coming over from Nosebleed Nation Football, bro. Listen, man, I got 7 YouTube channels, right? So I be trying to. I got ADHD, dog. And I need a new chair, so I'm trying to get paid. I got 7 YouTube channels. So if you want football content, come on over to Nosebleed Nation Football.
Oh yeah.
Let me
get you some of it.
Bam. Yeah, come on over to Nosebleed Nation Football, right? And rock with us. We got hella football content over here, man. We talk about NFL content, college content, high school content, and local St. Louis area football content, bro.
Yeah.
So those are the 4 content areas that we cover: NFL, college, national high school, and local St. Louis area high school football for Nosebleed Nation. So if you're interested in football content, come on over there. But over here, man, we having more real conversations, and I guess we're gonna call this C's at Night. And we're gonna have more real conversations with real people, bro.
Good
Shout
stuff,
out to my boy Duke Deal and Real People Clothing. You know what I'm saying? I can't say real people without shouting him out, man. Just a good guy, good clothing line. But anyway, and he ain't paid me to say this. He probably don't even know I say this. He probably don't even follow me. So, but like I say,
plug
bro,
him anyway, baby.
yes. So anyway, yeah, we just having real conversations and just with real people, bro, and just that's it, bro. I'm Big 618Cs, man. You already know my saying, man. If ain't nobody ever told you they love you, Big 618Cs love you. If ain't nobody ever told you that they want to see you win, Big 618Cs want to see you win. Don't forget, bro. Go over there to Neek at Night and follow this Carmelo Anthony trial, bro. I'm out. Peace.